After successfully completing his first labor, Hercules returned to Mycenae. But he was given no rest. King Eurystheus, driven by envy and insecurity, immediately imposed a second, even more difficult challenge. This time, Hercules was to confront and destroy a terrifying creature known as the Hydra, a monster that terrorized the region of Lerna. According to legend, the Hydra was the offspring of the dreadful Typhon, whose monstrous forms even the gods struggled against, and the cruel Echidna, the mother of all monsters. Its presence had turned life in the region into a continuous nightmare. The creature's reputation was so sinister that few dared to even speak its name without trembling. Hercules was not alone in this perilous task. His loyal nephew, Iolaus, his inseparable companion since youth, accompanied him. They shared a strong bond of friendship and trust, essential for facing the challenges ahead. During their journey to Lerna, the two heroes passed through a village ravaged by the monster. Burned down houses, destroyed crops, and an eerie silence were testament to the creature's ferocity. They encountered a traumatized survivor who, with wide eyes and a trembling voice, told them a chilling story of the Hydra's attack. The old man described how the creature's many serpentine heads emerged from the darkness of night, destroying everything in their path. He recounted the horror of seeing friends and family mercilessly dragged away and devoured before the terrified eyes of the villagers. His words were interrupted by sobs and uncontrollable trembling, and with shaking hands, he pointed them toward the Hydra's lair, deep within the dark swamps of Lerna. The swamp was a gloomy and oppressive place, shrouded in thick mists and a foul atmosphere. Hercules and Iolaus advanced with difficulty, facing deep mud, dense vegetation, and treacherous creatures lurking in the shadows. Every step demanded great effort and determination, testing not only their physical strength, but also their courage and emotional resilience. After a grueling trek through the swamp, Hercules and Iolaus finally spotted the cave where the Hydra rested. A frightening darkness and nauseating stench emanated from the entrance, confirming they were in the right place. To draw the creature out of its lair, Hercules decided to use flaming arrows. He shot them into the cave, provoking flames that briefly lit the shadowy interior. In response to the invading flames, a deafening roar echoed through the swamp, rattling the courage of even the bravest warriors. The Hydra emerged from its lair, furious and monstrous. The Hydra slowly emerged from its cave, revealing its full, terrifying monstrosity. First came the serpentine heads, countless and sinuous, each equipped with razor-sharp fangs and eyes burning like infernal embers. Its massive body was covered in dark, slimy scales that seemed to hiss like 1,000 snakes slithering over rough stone. Each head emitted a deafening roar, creating a horrifying chorus that pierced the ears and rattled even the steeliest nerves. Despite the creature's colossal size, it moved with surprising speed, launching fierce, synchronized attacks with its many heads. Each one struck with terrifying swiftness, trying to trap Hercules in its deadly jaws. But the hero showed exceptional reflexes, leaping nimbly and dodging the voracious attacks with precision. With a powerful and precise blow, Hercules brutally smashed one of the Hydra's monstrous heads with his heavy club. The impact was so great that the sound echoed across the dark swamp, and for a moment, the hero believed he had dealt a crippling blow to the beast. However, to his astonishment, he watched in disbelief as two new serpentine heads sprouted from the wounded neck, growing rapidly in grotesque, twitching movements. The heads, dripping with dark, viscous fluid, thrashed violently as they formed, making the monster an even greater threat. Fueled by growing fury and the desperate urgency to defeat the monster, Hercules unsheathed his sword, and began striking the Hydra's heads with swift and vigorous blows. One by one, the heads were cut off and fell to the ground with a repulsive thud, splattering the area with dark, viscous fluid. However, immersed in his rage and focused on the battle, Hercules didn't immediately notice that instead of weakening the creature, he was making it even more powerful. Each severed head regenerated with terrifying speed, multiplying and intensifying the monster's attacks, creating a nightmarish scene of chaos. Realizing something was terribly wrong, Iolaus shouted desperately to his uncle, trying to snap him out of it. "Hercules, stop! You're only making it worse!" The more heads Hercules cut, the harder and more dangerous the situation became. Iolaus watched in horror as new heads rapidly sprouted, multiplying and amplifying the deadly threat looming over them. Amid the growing chaos and mounting despair, Iolaus observed the creature carefully, trying to understand the cause of the rapid head regeneration. Suddenly, a clever idea sparked in his mind. "Uncle, we need to cauterize the wounds where the heads were cut. Fire might stop them from growing back." Iolaus quickly grabbed a burning torch, preparing to put into action the strategy that could change the course of the battle and end the nightmare. Thus, while Hercules skillfully cut off each head with swift and precise blows, Iolaus immediately followed behind, pressing the burning torch against the open wounds. Thick spirals of smoke rose into the air, and the pungent stench of scorched flesh filled the swamp. It was a coordinated and meticulous effort that demanded absolute courage and precision. Any small mistake could result in new heads and even greater danger. Gradually, they managed to weaken the creature's devastating power. Enraged by yet another likely victory for Hercules, the goddess Hera, driven by her usual wrath and growing bitterness over the hero's ongoing successes, decided to personally interfere in the battle. With a gesture filled with divine resentment, she summoned from the swamp's murky depths a legion of enormous crabs to aid the Hydra. These crabs emerged from the fetid waters with menacing movements, their bodies covered in tough shells and claws as sharp as knives. They advanced to attack and distract the heroes, a desperate attempt by the goddess to finally defeat Hercules. The crabs attacked the two heroes frenetically, trying to distract and disrupt their movements. Hercules, however, once again demonstrated his immense strength. Even under the combined and relentless assault of the creatures, he fought with incredible skill, crushing the crabs' sturdy shells underfoot, while still contending with the Hydra. The crabs were quickly defeated, reduced to scattered fragments across the swamp, making it clear once more that nothing could stop the legendary hero. At last, after a long and exhausting battle, Hercules and Iolaus had destroyed all of the Hydra's heads, except for the last one. Even after being severed, it remained alive, growling and snapping. Hercules seized this final head and hurled it into a deep pit, covering it with a massive stone to ensure it would never rise again. Recognizing the strategic value of the Hydra's poisonous blood, Hercules decided to dip his arrows in the creature's toxic ichor, thus gaining a new and deadly weapon for future challenges. Although defeated, Hera honored the efforts of her minions by sending the crabs to the heavens, transforming them into the constellation Cancer, and immortalizing them among the stars. Thus, with another epic victory, Hercules took another decisive step on his path to eternal glory.